Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. Okay, we're just going to dive right in today because we're looking at a story that might fundamentally change the way you look at the random spare change floating around in your pocket. We're exploring Michael's savings story, Building Big Dreams. Now, this is just an incredible, highly relatable journey about taking deep financial frustration and turning it into absolute financial freedom. If you've ever felt like your paycheck just doesn't quite match up with the life you actually want to live, well, you're going to want to pay really close attention to the mechanics of this story. So, can small savings really build big dreams? I want you to really ask yourself that. It's so incredibly easy to look at our bank accounts and then look at our massive life goals and immediately feel, well, entirely overwhelmed, right? When you're on a tight budget, the idea of buying a house, getting a new car, or honestly just having some peace of mind, it feels like trying to climb Mount Everest in flip-flops. We so often think that to achieve massive things, we need this massive sudden windfall of cash. But is that actually true? Let's take a look at the evidence. Section 1. Big Dreams, Small Income. Let me introduce you to Michael. He's a 28-year-old guy living in a quiet town down in Texas, and he's working a part-time job at the local grocery store. So he's not some high-powered Wall Street executive. He's just an everyday guy trying to make ends meet. And there is a stark, almost painful contrast between his everyday reality and his ambition. He's dealing with a really small income, but he has these massive dreams: a better car, owning his own home, and just achieving true financial freedom. Every single month, Michael looked at his budget and he just felt deeply frustrated. He felt totally stuck because, mathematically speaking, his paycheck simply could not fund those big goals. And honestly, his frustration is entirely valid. It's a feeling millions of us share every single day. Section 2. The Coffee Shop Epiphany. But everything shifted on a completely ordinary Tuesday. Michael was just sitting at a local coffee shop and he was visibly stressed out about his finances. Well, an older gentleman noticed him and just kindly asked why he looked so worried. When Michael finally admitted that he just didn't earn enough to achieve his dreams, the old man smiled and gave him this incredibly profound piece of advice. He said, "Big dreams are not built with big money. They are built with small habits repeated every day." I'm going to say that again. Just let those words hang in the air for a second. Big dreams are not built with big money. That completely flips the traditional script we're all taught about building wealth, doesn't it? Those exact words firmly planted themselves in Michael's mind. It was a total paradigm shift for him. Section 3. The $5 Decision. Now, inspiration is great, right? But it means absolutely nothing without execution. So the very next morning, Michael made a shockingly simple commitment. $5. That is it. Just $5 a day. Think about how unbelievably small that amount really is. That's skipping one premium coffee or, just ignoring that random snack at the checkout aisle. It feels way too small to possibly make a dent, right? But actually, that is exactly the point. By setting the bar at just $5, Michael proved that you absolutely do not need a high initial income to start changing your life. The barrier to entry was practically zero. But of course, he had to remain disciplined. So how on earth did he actually maintain that discipline? Well, he used a really clever little psychological tool. Whenever he was tempted to buy something he didn't really need, he would stop and ask himself one simple filtering question: will this help me reach my dream? It's just a simple yes or no mental circuit breaker, but it instantly reconnects a fleeting, momentary urge to spend with a massive long-term goal. Section 4. 1 year later. Let's fast forward the timeline a bit here to really visualize this compounding effect. Because Michael didn't just do this for a week, he stuck to it. Day 1, the first $5 goes into the jar. Sure, it feels insignificant. But then a week passes, the days become weeks, and the habit actually starts to form. 1 month hits, weeks become months, and suddenly he's totally adapted to living without that extra daily expense. He doesn't even miss it. And finally, we reach 1 full year, a major milestone. Listen, the time was going to pass anyway, but Michael actively harnessed it through his daily discipline. And boom, after that 1 single year, he had saved over $1,800. That is the sheer mathematical power of just $5 a day over the course of a year. But honestly, the money wasn't even the most important part of this. For the very first time in his entire life, Michael felt genuinely confident. He had proven to himself, without a shadow of a doubt, that he had control over his own financial destiny. Section 5. The 5-year transformation. Armed with this incredible new confidence, Michael didn't stop there. He used that momentum. He learned some new skills online, he picked up some extra work, and he kept saving a portion of every single paycheck for 5 full years. And the tangible rewards? They are staggering.
He saved enough for a solid down payment on a house, he bought a totally reliable car, and he built up a really healthy emergency fund. That is a life completely devoid of that crippling financial stress we saw him dealing with back at the beginning of his journey. He quite literally built his big dreams.
One evening, he's sitting on the porch of that very house he just bought, and Michael remembered that old man from the coffee shop. It all clicked. He realized the absolute core of his journey. Success is about consistency. His ultimate success wasn't determined by his starting income when he was just working part-time at the grocery store. No way. It was entirely about his unbreakable, relentless consistency over time. Section 6. Start small today. So what's the big takeaway for us here? It's this. Don't wait for a miracle. Start saving a little bit today. If your income is small right now, please do not wait for a lottery win or some sudden massive promotion to start managing your money. Small amounts, saved consistently, undeniably grow into life-changing opportunities. You kind of have to recognize that every single dollar has the power to bring you one step closer to the life you actually want to be living. Great achievements always begin with small, daily decisions. I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought. Keep Michael's mental framework and just make it your own. The very next time you open your wallet or, double-click your phone to pay for something you don't strictly need, just pause, take a breath, and ask yourself, will this help me reach my dream? The answer to that one simple question might just change the next 5 years of your life. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I will catch you in the next one.